since childhood I wanted to speak very fluent English, and I had a great desire of learning English. But I was not getting someone whom I can practice English. This was the major problem that I was facing. But one fine day I was just scrolling social media like YouTube, and then I found the channel of Alina ma'am. Like, I'm very glad that I found that channel. And from that channel, she had started an initiative like how to learn English by a buddy system. Like, what we have to do, we just have to email a random person. Like, there are thousands of emails, so you have to put your email on that box, and then you will get lot of emails from the person who are willing to talk in English. Then that's how I got lot of email from different part of the country, states, even from abroad. Like, one of my friend is from Nepal. So I accepted. Earlier in initial stage, I was facing so much nervousness while speaking English. But gradually then I started speaking with them, and then that's how I improved my English. Like, now it has been more than a year that I'm practicing English, and I'm talking with them, and yeah, I'm learning. So that's how I'm improving my English.
It's like physics, economics, and chemistry. That's all. We learn physics, we learn economics, and later we practice economics. You learn the subject matter at BCom level. Then you get the job of an accountant, and you practice all these things. This is the case with the subjects. English and Hindi are not subjects. They are languages. Languages cannot be first learned and then practiced. It's not possible. Languages should be learned through using. Like swimming. The first lesson in swimming is to get into the water, the shallow water. Slowly and gradually, from shallow water, you will be moving towards deep waters. And in 1 month or 2 months, you start learning swimming. Whereas, I can take a course in biotechnology here. I have no idea what biotechnology is. I get enrolled. By the end of the first semester, I get some idea about biotechnology, and I start using it. Because biotechnology is a subject. Whereas, Hindi or English or either language should be used and learned, not other way. So, he was asking, how can we start functioning English? That's why I put the title to this program, Functioning English. Not learning English. No, there's no limit to learning English. Whenever there is something to be learned, you already speak by language. That learning comes slower. Learning is the using. Skip start. And he was also asking why there is a divide between approach to English between South India and North India. Of course, there is a difference towards English between South India and North India. 2 reasons. Number 1, political. Politicians are ruining you. Your politicians are ruining your career, your life. That I can very clearly tell you. North Indian politicians are ruining the youngsters' life. I don't specify which political party or it. All are the same. Because in 1 year, 2 or 3 times, there will be very unpleasant remarks from Delhi. अंग्रेजी छोड़ दो. Okay. their own children and grandchildren and relatives are all well settled in the West, doing multi-crore businesses in Canada and all other European countries. And then they, during the election or even non-election times, they will go just for getting this vote and clapping. No, Hindi is enough. Hindi is the greatest language in the world. Hindi will be enough. Hindi is not the greatest language in the world. Hindi is not the greatest language in India either. I am a linguist. A linguist looks at languages scientifically, not emotionally. The first lesson in linguistics is all languages are equal. No language is superior, no language is inferior. Even say the dialect these housekeeping staff use back in their village, they are not speaking the Hindi which here they speak in the class or somewhere else. Okay, the teachers in the Hindi department will be speaking one variety of Hindi which can be called standard variety, whereas the housekeeping staff and their relatives and their villages will be using a dialect of Hindi. So many dialects, Bhojpuri, Maithili, all these things are there. All these dialects, my humble Malayalam, your Hindi, French, English, all languages are equal. And these fools of your, politicians, they are ruining your career for vote. It won't work in our place. It won't work in our place. Because we know that our Malayalam is good for Kerala. But we have to move out. Immediately after plus 2 or after degree, we have to migrate to Bangalore. Early it was Mumbai. When I was in school, the first choice was Mumbai. At that time it was Bombay. Immediately after SSLC, all of us, boys, used to go to a typewriting class. And a typewriting lower certificate from the government of Kerala, we used to catch a train to Bombay. Some distant uncle or somebody will be there to take care of for the first few months. Then we would be working with some state or say some businessman or some small company with this lower typewriting like that. That was almost 1 century ago. Now, school students in Kerala, they know that immediately after plus 2. Yesterday, Dr. Shalini took me to the fine arts department. I didn't know that such a good department was there. Next week, I am going to tell wherever I go, if anyone is interested in painting, drawing and say sculpting, here is a good department at Indore. Please check website. This is how I keep on moving. So a few students are most likely in another say 2 or 3 years from Kerala. After listening to me, they are likely to be here, staying in the hostel and doing fine arts. So even in schools, children are aware of the need for moving outside. That's why in Kerala, we don't hate any religions, we don't hate any languages either. I told you, please come. I told you, in Kerala schools, how many languages are taught? Malayalam, English, Hindi. Then as second language, we have Kannada in the neighboring states of Karnataka, Tamil in the neighboring districts of Tamil Nadu, plus Urdu, Sanskrit, Arabic mainly, Arabic, Urdu, Sanskrit, and French too. 10 languages are taught in Kerala. Maybe shortly Japanese, Chinese, all will be coming indoor. I don't know whether it started because for a long time I was away from Kerala. I was in Chennai and elsewhere. So I don't know the recent development. I am sure now it has gone up to 15 languages in Kerala. politicians cannot. And our politicians are far more better than the politicians here. I am not referring to any party. Okay, I am talking about politicians in general. Even the worst politician in our place will be better than the politicians you have. The other day somebody asked me and I told, quite a few ministers after their term of 5 years, okay, quite a few ministers after their term of 5 years, they went back to rented houses with their family. A minister for 5 years, a speaker in the assembly for 5 years, that gentleman went back to a small rented house. Empty-handed. Now he gets pension. That's all. So these are all part of education. Education fights against corruption. Education fights against superstition. Religion is one thing. Superstition has nothing to do with God. These things you youngsters should be aware of. I know that I am making very, very dangerous statements. But I have to make these dangerous statements since I am coming from Kerala. I don't simply teach, say, a little English and the grammar and no. I make people aware of the part of it. The other day I told my faculty colleagues here that in the 1960s, that is 60 years ago, I knew all the states in India as part of our social studies textbook. In social studies textbook in the 1960s, we had detailed description about Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, and all those things came much later. Okay, so I still remember how I did it. Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, capital, Bhopal, language, Hindi, Chief Minister, at that time, Byron Singh, somebody I forgot, Governor, population. Why should a Kerala child in class 5 learn about Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh and the governor and the population and all those things? Why? For us, not Kerala, India. Kerala is part of India. India is the main thing. That is the education system still we follow. Even in present textbooks, we have all the details about Madhya Pradesh. The main industries, the main rivers, the main dams, seaport. You don't have seaport. Now airport. All those things are there. I'll send you a copy of the textbooks which my children are studying. This open-mindedness we need because we know from childhood that we have to go and live in Madhya Pradesh or say in Bengal or in Delhi. We have to start loving the people there from the very beginning. This openness is there. I am not saying that everything is great with Kerala. No. The other day I told you so many atrocities and so many evil things are there in our part also. But so let's come back to English. Why English is not getting that popular in North India is, number one reason is that the crooked politicians. Whereas we had the greatest politicians. It was Jawaharlal Nehru who opened the window of India to the world. His definition of English, Jawaharlal Nehru's definition of English is the window of India on the world. Jawaharlal Nehru's definition of India. That is, this is India, you open the window. See, now I am part of the world outside, part of the world is coming to me in the form of light, fresh air, everything.
It is a give and take. Jawaharlal Nehru's definition about English language. English is the window of India on the world. But unfortunately, later crooked politicians, they are ruining you. And you should be aware of those things. One unfortunate incident in Tamil Nadu is that Tamil Nadu is dead against Hindi. Reason: all governments in Delhi tried to impose Hindi in Tamil Nadu, which they said no, sorry. If you are going to impose Hindi on us, you don't. If we want to learn English, we will learn. But if you impose it on, we won't. That is the only negative factor in the South. So, when your children grow up, you should develop a habit of accepting all cultures, all religions, all regions. If any one of you think that Pakistan is your enemy, I am extremely sorry, you are thoroughly mistaken. How can Pakistan be our enemy? Before 1947, what was Pakistan? Okay. From down south, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, then comes Maharashtra, then comes Madhya Pradesh, then comes Kashmir, then comes Lahore, then comes Sindh and all those things. Our great grandfathers lived, perhaps worked in part of India at that time. Later again, crooked politicians cut it into two. One day when somebody divides your family property into two by laying a stone or a fence, and your auntie is staying in that house and your mother is staying in the house, is auntie going to be altogether your enemy? What is it? Isn't it nonsense? See, when your grandfather's property is to be divided among 3 children, this is your mother's property, this is your mother's younger sister's property, and that is your mother's brother's property. Okay, your grandparents divided that entire property into 3 pieces. Is that uncle and his children, say, are they going to be your enemies? What nonsense is this? Border disputes are there all over the world. All over the world, border disputes are there, except small islands. Even they do have problems. But just because there is a dispute between, say, neighbors, how can they become enemies? Very dangerous things are being propagated by these crooked politicians. You educated parents of future should tell your children. A day will come. Once upon a time, China was our enemy. When we were at school in 1962, one of the greatest fights between India and China, and in that fight we lost. China was very strong at that time, and we never expected such an attack from China. It was during Jawaharlal Nehru's period, and the Home Minister was V.K. Krishna Menon from Kerala. And India lost very badly. We lost quite a few soldiers. But that was 65 years ago. Now what's the relationship between India and China? You all get ready to work in China. China is going to recruit thousands and thousands of you. And you need not leave your continent. You may even travel by rail to China. Okay, you buy a ticket from here to, book a ticket from here to Delhi, and from Delhi you will be traveling by train to China perhaps, not even flying. So, geographical disputes, border disputes, all these things are part of globe. It doesn't make anyone enemies. We shouldn't have enemies. In that case, if you are going to go by the division, then is Indore going to fight against Bhopal? Indore and Bhopal are two districts. Are we going to be enemies? No. Education is for prospering, cooperation and help. You must be prepared to live in any part of the world. Wherever you go, you are part of that culture. You have to respect that culture. You have to start functioning in that language. If you don't respect that culture, you are in danger. Your parents may not be able to support you. Quite a few, including girls from my village, remote villages in Kerala, went for doing MBBS in Ukraine. And all of a sudden, Russia attacked Ukraine. Once they were part of USSR, United Socialist Republic. Now they are two nations. And those boys and girls were held in cellars, underground cellars, for a few months. Finally, all of them reached back safely in Kerala. Now again they are thinking of going back. Girls are thinking of going back to Ukraine to continue their MBBS studies. They are not afraid because now the war is almost going to come to an end. So all these are part of life. Only short-term breaks and shocks will be there, but we will be overcoming those things, and humanity is one and the same. You need not worry about going abroad. There may be a small change in the breakfast. Human beings are human beings. Love is love. The second reason why English doesn't get much popular in North Indian education is that in the north you have many or more job opportunities, industries, whereas in the south, of course, especially in Kerala, we have absolutely no industries at all. An industry needs 5 acres or 10 acres of land. Forget about 5 acres, 5 square feet of land is not available in Kerala. His kitchen will be protruding to the highway. His carporch will be touching the highway. His bedroom will be almost part of my kitchen. Where are we going to have industry? Forget about industry. Even the widening the road also is not possible. Crores and crores we will have to spend on compensation. If I want him to vacate and move somewhere else, the government has to pay some 10 crore to him. How can we have roads? So, in such places, we all know, school children know, first to Bangalore or Chennai or Hyderabad or anywhere else, from there to the Gulf countries or Canada or somewhere else. Finish. Occasionally coming for Onam vacation or for Christmas or Ramzan to Kerala, spend a few days here, again pack and leave. For us, English is essential. For you, jobs are there in Bhopal or in Mumbai or in Surat, textile, somewhere else. Somewhere we can manage with our own Hindi and little Gujarati and with Odisha like that. Finish. This is on your part. This is on your part. The other one is on the part of crooked politicians. But the government of India has very clearly stated in the constitution that after +2, the medium of teaching and learning is English. It is very clearly stated in the constitution. After +2, all over India, the medium of teaching fine arts, commerce, be it, except Hindi and other things, the medium of teaching and learning writing questions and answers in the examination is English. Whether we follow it or not, that's a different thing. What else can a constitution do? So, depends on whether you are comfortable with a job in Surat or say Mumbai, or are you ambitious to take an IELTS exam or a TOEFL exam and fly abroad, work in the say Gulf countries which pay you very, very, very much. If you get 10,000 rupees here, there you get 50,000. It depends. If you are ambitious, English is the wings. That's all. So, Jawaharlal Nehru said that it is a window on the world. Humbly let me put it, English is wings. If you are very happy with the Bhopal and say, no problem. You can make money here as well. But with your education, Canada is waiting, America is waiting. In all these places, Indians are respected. That is one thing. Whether Canada or Britain or America or Australia, Indian youth is respected. They know that you people from India are much more intelligent than them, which is true. I have met quite a few of Americans of your age. They are not as intelligent as you are. There you get money, there you get recognition, there you get respect. So would you like to fly? English is the wing. Make use of it. Okay, thank you. Now let us come back to yesterday's puzzle, which is a very, before that, as I told you, I was working in Chennai, an institution like this. In that Chennai University, in the university in Chennai where I worked, there were students from all over India. And there were students from China too. The other day, yesterday I mentioned about Chinese students, no? Yesterday I told you about Chinese. One more thing, listen, my own experience. The other two I heard as stories, my own experience. One Friday, I was teaching communicative English to BTech students. I gave an assignment. By the middle of the hour, I gave an assignment, a worksheet or something like that you got. I asked them to bring it on Monday. I continued my lecture. By the end of the lecture, the two Chinese students came to me. Yes? What please? Sir, assignment. You got the point? I gave an assignment to beta class to be done for Monday. Today is Friday. The two Chinese students, while listening to my rest of the lecture, in another 20 minutes, they finished the assignments and brought to me. Chinese way of functioning. Once this China was our enemy, politicians made us. Is China an enemy or is it a model? Tell me. Is it a model? I can tell you something from your Ramayana. Those things are here. You worship Hanuman. We don't worship Hanuman. Okay, because Hanuman is a character for us in a novel. What is great with Hanuman? Can you ask all the politicians in Madhya Pradesh and get the answer tomorrow? That's a problem. That's a problem. Why is Hanuman a Superman? These are the things you should learn from your religion. Religions are good. But what you get is not religion. What you get is superstition. What you get is superstition. What is Hanuman? Why Hanuman? Who is Hanuman? I am coming from a place where Hanuman is not that worshipped. Very few people may worship. Because he is a character in a book written by a saint, Vatmiki. That's all. We firmly know that he didn't live. What is special about Hanuman? You are all worshippers of Hanuman. Tell me.
Loyalty, devotion to
Pardon?
Ram. Devotion to Ram.
Devotion to Ram doesn't make anyone great.
So it means, I believe that devotion means.
Yeah, on the first day I told you, no, Abu and Adam had a dream. In the first night he got a list. An angel brought a list, and Abu's name was not there in the list, because that was the list of people who loved God. Unfortunately, this fellow didn't have time. He was just running up and down and doing something to him, and in some places he got lunch, and in some other place he got a cup of tea, and by late evening he came back and tired and fell stone dead asleep. Next morning again he got up and he started. He didn't have time to think about God. But the next night another list came, and his name, Abu Ben Adam's list, was on top. What was that list? The list of people who God loved. There are two different lists. Those who love God belong to one category. Those who God loves, a very small minority. A very small minority. I can assure you, I am in the second list. I am very much in the second list. In the list of those who God loves. I never went to temple. None in the family goes to temple, except for festivals. Festival, why? All the old friends and relatives and say the newly born young ones, all will be there, and a lot of merriment will be there. A social activity. I am not against anybody going to temple or anything. I am telling you the difference between those who love God, those whom God loves. That is where Hanuman comes. No problem. Listening. Hanuman was asked to do one thing. Go and find out the missing Sita. Immediately come and report it to me. Who is this me? Not Ram. Sugriva. Sugriva is his captain. And Sugriva's command has one particular speciality. What is it? If that command is violated, not obeyed, behead it. This part of the body won't be there. That's why in Sanskrit and Hindi also we have a phrase, Sugrivaitna. Sugrivaitna means the last. Finish. Okay, this was the order given. Rama didn't ask Hanuman. No. Sugriva ordered, go and find out. All of them, the whole monkey battalion. Go and find out Sita, immediately come and report to me. The rest we will take care of. The entire army was divided into 4 battalions, and 1 battalion moved to south, in which Hanuman was there. Others went to north, east and west. They went and reached the seashore, somewhere near Kerala, Kanyakumari. Beyond that, vast sea. What to do? If going back without the information about Sita means, without this part, what is the use of living? They all sat on the vast seashore. They knew that they are never going to see their wives and children or family, that their end is there on that seashore. At that time, the seniormost person, the oldest person from that group got up and singled out one young fellow. You come on, you come here. That person, that young man, me? Yes, you come here. Come. Who are you? I am Hanuman. Don't be foolish. What did they ask you? Answer the question. I asked you, who are you? Did I ask you what is your name? No. Who are you? I am Maruti. What does it mean? Son of Marut. Oh, that much you know. Yes. Then do one thing. Get ready. Leap. Leap. Long jump. Where? To the other end of the ocean. Me. Leaping. To the other end of... Are young man, I told you. You told me that you are son of Marut. If you are son of Marut, the god of wind, leap. The next you know what happened. He leaped to Lanka, and within a few hours he located Sita Devi seated on the premises of Ravana's palace, surrounded by Ravana's own sister and all other maids. What was the order given by Sugriva to Hanuman? Go and find out Sita and immediately come back, and because 1 second lost means danger there. Immediately come back and report it. The rest we will take out. The army is all ready. Sri Rama's army is all ready. This is Sugriva's army. But why am I telling this story of Hanuman? How to worship Hanuman? This is not the way to worship Hanuman. Hanuman must be worshipped, especially by you, your younger generation, in another way. I'll tell you. Hanuman very well knew that even if there were 100 Sri Ramas and Lakshmanas, they cannot defeat Ravana. Ravana had such supernatural powers. Then how to defeat Ravana? Only one way. To defeat an enemy, a very powerfully, physically powerful enemy, the only way is to demoralize him. Demoralize him means insult him, humiliate him, make his bravery lose. See what will happen if somebody comes and insults you or me in this crowd. What will happen? Our morale will be lost. Okay. Then there is no point in saying that I am strong like this. When our mental power is lost, we are gone. Hanuman went round and ruined the whole part of Lanka and set fire to Lanka, even to Ravana's palace, and Ravana lost his moral strength for the first time in his life. He was reduced to 1/10. It was this Ravana. Then Hanuman leaped back and reported, though late. But still what happened? Rama and Lakshmana and all their army came but Lakshmana was killed. Lakshmana was killed. It was again the same Hanuman who flew to Marutha, some other mountain, and brought back Mrita Sanjeevani and gave up. 100 Srirams, 100 Lakshmans together were not able to finish Ravana. Only Hanuman was able to do it because of Hanuman's tactics. The story given by Vatmiki is not to foolishly worship. Vatmiki was great, but we are fools. The moral that Vatmiki gave to you through the Ramayana is people can be categorized into three. Yeah, these things are recorded, no? Only for internal. Please be. No, not that I'm afraid. I know very well I am in Madhya Pradesh. I know the consequences, but I have to. Yeah. It's okay. Right. Vatmiki wanted to give a philosophy of life. People can be categorized into three. People are categorized into three. People all over the world. Number one, adhama. Adhama. One doesn't do one's duty. One doesn't do one's duty. Why is he seated there all the time? It is his duty. It is his duty, and he is doing it perfectly well, and he is doing a little more. He is listening to me as well, right? So there are people, hundreds and thousands among us, who don't do their duty. Now it is 11:30. You check how many or what will be the attendance in the government offices in Indore and Bhopal or anywhere else in India, all over India. What will be the attendance in government offices? 60%. 40% of government employees all over India right now will be doing some other business somewhere else. If in an office there should be 10, not even 6, only 5 will be there. Every one of us knows. Now let us go to the collectorate or somewhere else. 60% won't be there. 40% will be doing some other dirty business somewhere else, extra making money. Athamas. Those who don't do their duty. Athamas. Cursed ones. Then comes the category of uttamas. Uttamas. No, madhyamas. Those who do their duty. What is there? A lot of waste is that's not my duty. I am a teacher of English. Why should I worry about the waste accumulated there? It's not my duty. I taught English and I am leaving. Now it is 5 o'clock, I am leaving. I belong to that category, that is Madhyama. The third is Uttama. That is, I finished my job, but maybe because of the last 2 or 3 days rain, the housekeeping staff were not able to clean the whole thing. Let me do one thing. I have NSS here, and I have quite a few boys and girls also, my own students. We'll do one thing. After 4 o'clock, all of us are going to get a few gloves and plastic bags and all those things. We are going to collect the whole thing and deposit in the right place, because the housekeeping staff, they are running short of numbers. I saw all of them have been busily working, but still a lot of dirt and garbage. So you and I and all of us together with the gloves and all those things go and collect the whole thing and keep it in the right place. We are Uttamas. This is the message conveyed by Vatmiki through the portrayal of Hanuman. Hanuman is number one among the Uttamas. You please ask any of the dirty politicians here whether they know this philosophy behind Hanuman. We in Kerala, during the last months, the month of monsoon, from day 1 to 31st, we have to finish reading the Ramayana. Mostly women will be doing it. On a few days, women won't be reading it, then men will be reading it. I too read every year. In 31 days, we should finish the Malayalam version of Adhyatma Ramayana. We don't read it for religious purposes. We read it for improving by thinking like this. Wherever I go, I teach this version of Hanuman. Should you go to a Hanuman temple to worship, or should you finish your work in time, hand over the term paper or submit your assignment, everything in time, and should you help a few other students in the class who are not able to finish it because their English is not good, or say their maths is not good, or say their physics is not good? Should you go and sit with them and say help them with their subject and let them to finish before 4 o'clock today? Then you are Hanuman. Then you are a little Hanuman. Or the same thing which I said on the campus, on the street, elsewhere, anything. Then a little Hanuman.